Welcome to Victory Online. Today, Bob has got Elena from The Vet at Portsmouth, who's come into the studio to talk to us about pets at Christmas.
You guys know I love to have guests in, and today I've got Eleanor in from the Portsmouth Vets in Cosham on the Southampton Road. And Eleanor, welcome to Victory.
Thank you very much for the invitation. I'm delighted to be here.
I've been wanting to get a vet in that chair for a long time, and they've all been a bit reticent, and you jumped at it, which is fantastic. So you're the head vet at Portsmouth Vets.
I am. I'm the head vet. I've been with the company for 3 years, but I'm the head vet at the branch in Portsmouth.
And what's your background?
I graduated from Iasi in Romania some time ago, but I've been working in UK for the last 6 years, and I've been based now at the vet.
And you are certified in small animal medicine.
Yes, I have a certification in small animal medicine because I enjoy all aspects of like day-to-day consultations. So I like the variety of the cases. So
a head vet's role, does that mean you're responsible for all the other vets? Do they come to you for advice?
They do. So my main responsibility is to probably set up an example in all aspects of the clinical workload in relations to clients, and support my colleagues. We have junior colleagues that are enrolled in like new grad schemes, so we're supporting them through their beginning of the career.
So how long is the training time for a vet?
I have studied for 6 years. That was like more than 10 years ago, but usually it's 5-6 years, and depending if you want to do any sort of specialization, master, PhD, or anything, that takes even longer. And
I guess the real learning point is in practice.
Yes, nothing beats the practice.
Sure.
So it's really your skills are developed once you are in your workplace, and you're starting to see your caseloads, and you're building up your experiences with pets. Yeah.
So are all vets involved from diagnosis through to operations?
Yes, in general practitioner, usually yes. So we're trying to be the case vet, so we get to know the cases as better as we can, and then follow through working it up through diagnostic or procedure, like surgical procedure, if needed.
Yeah, I have a dog. I've always loved dogs. I was brought up as a kid with dogs, and I think having animals around the house is a great thing to grow up with, because I think it helps your personality and your fondness of animals keeps you a calm person, I believe. Christmas is coming up, and as we all know, animals aren't just for Christmas, and it's always a worry when people give gifts which is actually an animal. What's your thoughts on that?
It is a very common situation that people find that buying and gifting a little kitten is really cute, or a puppy. It's amazing, brings a lot of joy in the moment, but also it's a lifelong commitment, and we're always suggesting to look out for other sort of Christmas souvenirs, because a pet is for life, and we need to be informed before getting a puppy, and we need to be committed to care for them for their life.
Absolutely, for their life, yeah. And obviously, when you have a pet, there's going to be expenses, and some of them are quite horrific, very much so. So it's always advisable to insure your pet.
Absolutely.
And the more pets you have, the more insurance you need. And we also know, and I know personally, that insurance goes up every year as your animal ages. So the policy does, and it gets more and more expensive. And usually they're very good, in terms of if your animal has to have treatment. The insurance usually does the job apart from an excess. And I'm not really talking to sell insurance. What I am doing is saying that if you get a pet any time of the year, you really need to be looking at insurance.
Absolutely. That is such an important part of long-term care of your pet. We always advise owners to have an insurance as like backup. This is to help with the emergency situations or where your pet is sick, and it really facilitates diagnosing them if they need hospitalization or complex surgery. So at our clinic, we offer a pet health plan, so that is helpful with the preventative. So starting with puppies and kittens to do vaccinations, so areas that we can prevent, flea treatment, worming. But it's so important to have an insurance for those emergency situations.
Yeah, and I'm realising more and more lately, I mean, a lot of dogs are getting cancer, and there is treatment for that in some cases, but it's very, very expensive, and it's not something that somebody would probably be able to, most people would be able to do without insurance.
Yes, those sort of conditions are complex, and they do require investigations, and treatment is long term, and it does
very expensive.
It will end up being quite expensive. Yeah.
So let's go back. Let's rewind a little bit.
Yes.
Do you have to be an animal lover to be a vet? What got you involved?
Yeah, you do have to be an animal lover to be a vet. And it helps a lot if you are like me. I grew up around pets, farm pets, and like more close to home. So you definitely need to be an animal lover to be a vet. It helps because it guarantees you you enjoy every day.
Absolutely.
So it's not to just go into work. You actually love what you're doing.
Which is brilliant, yeah. And of course, you know, the owner of a pet wants to know that you are the most caring person that's looking after their pet at that point in time. So, and you know, I find, I mean, having animals for a long time, I find that, I don't know if this is worldwide, but certainly British people are pretty loyal. So once they've found a vet they stick with them.
Yes, we do see this in our day-to-day. We having a vet that you're familiar with, knows your pet, probably started the vaccination for them, and you're growing your relationship with the years with your vet, and it helps build up that trust, and people are reassured that they're in really good hands.
Absolutely brilliant. Yeah. So I know the vet I use, and it's not your vet, I must be honest, but
okay.
you know, I do have loyalty for them, and I do totally understand this. I've realised lately that it costs a lot of money to run a vet practice, a lot of money.
It does. There are a lot of expenses behind what's happening in just the consultation. There's a lot of expenses that incur with staff, with medication, with orders, with maintenance,
buildings,
with rent, with all sort of like hidden costs. And when you are like putting them on a list, they do sum up, and they take quite a bit of the budget of the day.
I bet they do. And there must be times when this is an awkward question, because pet owners do think this at times. Those vets' bills have to be paid because they have to stay in business, and without you, we've got no one to look after our pets. However, there must be lean times where you're not busy and you're not doing the turnover that the practice needs. How do you get out of a problem like that?
We have always encouraged people to be on the pet health plan, so that helps like sustain a bit the practice when the times are a bit more kind of quiet.
I get it. So you have a residual income because of plans.
Yes, that helps. That helps a lot, and we have kind of like a budget per month. So we know and we predict that some months or some weeks are going to be a bit more quiet due to external factors.
Okay, that's amazing. So that's really all about practice management.
Yes.
Okay, Elena, so, okay, let's talk about pets and Christmas a little bit more. What particular advice would you have for the care of pets over the Christmas period? Are there any dangers?
There are. The list is quite long, I think. So the most common danger around Christmas are probably coming from food. That's one of the biggest one because we all tend to give a bit of box of chocolate. We all tend to cook some mince pies, and these contain so chocolates. They contain raisins, all sort of additives that are potentially toxic for pets. Also, we decorate around the house, so batteries are more inclined to be left over. These are extremely appealing to dogs for some reason. And also have tinsel, so cats will like to play a bit, and they are high risk of causing gastrointestinal obstruction. So we need to be aware of what's on the table. So put everything up in the cupboards.
So yeah, a danger time at Christmas for your pets. We do need to be mindful of that. Do you see that there's an uplift in problems like cold houses and packaging, of course, for pets that want to play with the packaging of presents?
Yes. All those bows and strings, again, they are at risk of causing complications. All packages, some are interesting for cats because they make a bit of noise, so they kind of stimulate them to play. But they can contain aluminium and they can cause obstruction. So that's the biggest danger with those packages.
Yeah, I guess we just have to be mindful and not just leave the cats on their own when you've got all that potential danger around. So, do you think there's an ideal present for a dog, for instance, for Christmas?
Yes, so I think something like a Kong or a food puzzle, it's extremely useful for all year round. So we can engage our pets, and even cats are interested in puzzles. So it stimulates them mentally, and it helps them slow down a bit the feeding. So they'll be spending a bit more time like chasing for that food or for that treat.
Brilliant answer. What else could we talk about? Now, so particularly I wanted to talk about pets at Christmas and the fact that there is that situation where people will, as you said earlier, give a pet as a present and they don't, they can't afford it after Christmas, or the kids aren't that interested or whatever. What happens with all those animals?
I think they sometimes remain in the families, but they're not so loved anymore, so they tend to be placed on kind of second place or third place in our day to day. Some of them sadly get sent to a charity or abandoned, and we see that it's just really sad and breaking our hearts. Yeah, indeed, and there's nothing worse. I mean, I'm going to talk about this. I don't really want to, because I think the saddest moment of any pet owner is the end of the pet's life, and you effectively are probably responsible for ending that pet's life. That must have been a tough thing to do the first time. It is. It's tougher the first time, but it's always really tough, and it affects us. Not equally, but it affects us. It affects the owner because it's a very high emotional situation, and we know that we're proceeding with euthanasia sometimes for the on like welfare grounds. So it's a kindest decision for the pet, where it's the last thing that we can help them with. It's really it's a hard one for us as well, for the staff in the vet practice. Yeah, I've had a few animals put down, and the vet has always been really, really kind and helped me to cope with the situation. But it's a tough one to cope with, and I just wondered, it must be for the vet as well, as you've said. It must be. It is hard for us because we want to be there for the owners going through such a tough decision, and letting your beloved pet go, but we also need to be there for our kind of next appointment in the same time. So it's really hard to find the balance and find those 5 minutes to kind of pull yourself together after such an emotional situation. An interesting situation. So in your training at wherever university, wherever you are, vet school, whatever it is, do you go through that in training as well? I think when I studied, not so much, but now I have noticed that there are more like specialized courses to help owners support after and during and after this emotional time.
Okay. Elena, you've been absolutely brilliant and you've given us a lot of information. Is there anything else we need to let the listener know? We need to know where you are and how they can get in touch with you if they want to sign up with your practice.
Yes. So, as I said, we are based in Cosham, and we are The Vet. We are part of the largest independent practice in UK, 7 days a week. We're working through bank holidays, and we can help you with advice or with more tailored plans for pets that suffer from anxiety around fireworks or for like emergencies throughout the festive seasons.
Brilliant. I think that's another conversation there. I'll get you back in to talk about that. My dog, for instance, is horrendous around fireworks. It's the noises more than the lights and in fact any unfamiliar noise. So I might come and talk to you about that, but we'll get you back in to talk again another day.
Okay, that would be a pleasure to come back.
Thank you for coming in.
Thank you very much for the invitation.
Elena from The Vet, leading healthcare in Portsmouth.
Victory! If you've enjoyed watching this podcast, then make sure you click that like button and remember to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on any more of our podcasts. And don't forget, you can listen in where we're busy making radio like it used to be on your DAB radio or online at victoryonline.co.uk. And you can also listen to us on your smart speaker. Just ask it to tune in to Victory Online. Thanks for watching and hope to see you again soon.